and then we'll reshare it later.
It takes two.
It takes two. All right. So everybody, appreciate y'all logging on no matter where you are. Of course, I'm Ramone Harper, and I'm excited tonight. I am super excited. This is like a dream come true for me. I've been trying to narrow this person down for 10 years. Been talking to him about what God had in my heart and what we needed to do. So I'm excited, man. I have Odell Dickerson representing Baltimore area. What's up, man? How are you?
My man, Ramone. What's going on, my friend?
Man, I can't call it, man. I'm trying to keep up with you. That's all. Talk to me.
Listen, man, we've been ministry brothers and peers for a long time, but we became really good friends a long time ago. Yeah. And we've been in this game now. I hate to refer to it as a game, but that's a lingo. We've been in this game for a long term. We've seen people come. We've seen people go. We've seen people do it right, and we've seen people do it wrong. And we tried to learn from both sides of the fence.
That's right. So, man, of course, Odell, you know I got this book getting ready to come out, It Takes Two, Who's Helping You Lead. So I've started this thing, man, where I'm doing two-man talks. Normally I try to do them on Tuesday, but you so special. We doing it on Monday. So Monday is the new Tuesday with Odell. Yeah, man. But one of the things in this book, man, and you know this has been stirring in my heart for years. Me, you, Derek Noble, talking about, I think in the book, I was actually in Nashville. We have been talking back and forth. Me and you would talk, you and Derek would talk, me and Derek would talk. I was sitting in a hotel in Nashville with Derek, and we called you on three-way.
Yes.
And I was like, man, listen, we got to do something. There's nothing out here for two-man executive leaders. There's no coaching. There's no conferences. There's no resources. And as you just said, man, we've seen a lot of people do it wrong. Yes. We've seen a lot of people come and go, but by the grace of God, man, we've put in decades in this thing now. And if we had Derek on the line, he did it for a season, quit, and got back into it all over again. So, man, I'm just happy to have you on. But I just kind of want to hear from you, man. Like, for you, tell me a little bit about you and how you got started and what you do now. And then tell us what you do.
Okay, so see, where do I start? I'll start at the beginning.
All right.
So about 19 years ago, I joined the New Psalmist Baptist Church in Baltimore, Maryland, and shout out to my pastor, Bishop Walter Scott Thomas.
Man.
Absolute genius.
Yes.
And he is the person who God used to put me in position. And so my journey is, you know, it has to mention him. With any part of my journey, it has to mention him. But as in the name of your book, It Takes Two. So my journey started at New Psalmist. When I joined New Psalmist in about 1998, I was a member of nobody's church. And I had no desires of preaching or becoming a member of somebody's church.
Okay.
I started going to church at New Psalmist, and all of a sudden I noticed that church was not like it was when my mom used to take me to church by my ear.
Okay.
And this man was up there talking about my business, talking about life, and it blessed me.
Okay.
But what I did not know, that everything that I was doing prior to that, so I've worked in every industry. I've worked for the government. I've worked for corporate. I've worked with the homeless. I've worked with juveniles. I've worked in facilities that house juveniles and adults. And I couldn't figure out, why was I doing so many things with so many different types of people. I was even at one time a professional dishwasher.
Professional?
I was a professional dishwasher.
Come on, man.
And that's where I built my work ethic.
Okay.
We can talk about that a little bit later.
All right.
But man, I went to New Psalmist. I started sitting in there. Church was jam-packed. And one day I was at a Bible study, and Bishop Thomas said, hey, he sent somebody for me. Like, I want to meet this guy. And it was ordained. I was on my way to my second job. And I believe I had 3 jobs. Three. I was on my way to my second job. And man, at that time, Dr. Thomas said, man, I see you come to church on Sunday. I see you out in Bible study, man. I want to get to know you, maybe get you involved. He started inviting me to some meetings, and lo and behold, it was a setup.
Wow.
He
Now,
set me
how
up.
did he know you? How did he know about
He picked me out of 2,000 people that
Wow.
come to church on Sunday.
Wow.
We did not know each other. We did not know each other at all.
Wow.
And so, some people say, this is a calling. This was truly a calling for me. I never knew I'd be doing this. But everything I was doing prior to that set me up for this.
Okay.
And he realized I worked in support, which meant I knew how to genuinely support somebody and help elevate somebody and help elevate and make a vision come to pass.
Well, now talk a little bit about that, because that's critical to be an executive leader, a support leader, knowing how to support. How did you figure that out? How did you figure that out? And then number two, I talk about this whole thing of motivation and ambition. How did you learn how to do that? And then how did you handle not wanting to, like, man, I could be doing my own thing?
So I have no ministry degrees, Ramone. I am not Minister Odell. I'm not Reverend Odell. I'm not Bishop Odell. I'm not even Apostle Odell. I'm just Odell Dickerson. Everybody around the world knows me as Odell, like Oprah. I have one name, Odell.
Yeah, you famous, Doc.
And my background is I have an undergraduate in accounting.
Okay.
I have a business degree. I have a master's of business administration. And the genius of Bishop Thomas, he understood that the church was changing and he needed something different. And so my position did not exist. It didn't start off with the title Chief Operating Officer, but I was a new position. And then I even helped the position evolve into what's called the Chief Operating Officer, which is a secular title.
Yeah.
So I had no desire to be a pastor. However, I do have a desire to lead. I am very passionate about leadership. I believe that everything rises and falls on the shoulders of leadership.
Yeah. That's
everything.
Yeah.
And I like, in the world terms, I like making things happen. But in the terms of vision, I like making vision a reality.
Okay.
That takes a special gift to make vision reality. And if God gives the vision to the pastor, and he never gives you vision without provision, then I'm the chief provision officer at New Psalmist Baptist Church.
I love it.
Making things happen. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention you have to have a strong team. So I'm that leader that says, it's not just me. I have a strong team.
Yeah.
I believe in, I have this other term that I say is, I believe in you work to your strengths, but you outsource your weaknesses.
Okay, say that one more time.
You work to your strengths and you outsource your weaknesses. That is the key to that whole it takes two. Mm-hmm. So the pastor or the leader has to understand that he doesn't need people around him that is just like him.
That's right.
He needs some people that can fill in his gaps.
That's right.
Who can do the things that he can't do. Mm-hmm. Who's even smarter than him in some areas. Makes him better.
Yeah, that's right. So me and Darius, of course, Darius Daniels, my pastor. And so he was kind of one of the inspiration that told me to go ahead and do this now. We were just kind of talking about this whole idea, man, and we're seeing it now, especially in this age with whether it's millennials or even just people our age or older, this ambition that's pushing people to feel like I got to do what he does or I got to do what she does. And this social media, and I'm looking at Instagram and this person is doing that. And everyone is so shook up in terms of like, who am I and what am I supposed to do? And I share with him one of the things for me that has helped me in 20 years in doing this. Someone asked me one time, I think she was a prophet back at Higher D in Houston, Texas. I was under Terrence Johnson where we met. This lady asked me, she was a prophetess, man, and she walked up to me and she asked me one day, she said, would you rather be a king or would you rather be a kingmaker? And man, I have never forgot that conversation. I don't even know who this woman is anymore. I couldn't even tell you her face now. But when she asked me that, and I said, I guess a kingmaker, she said, that's right. That's exactly what you are. You
Wow.
make kings. You never need to be the king. And so that for me has stayed with me over the course of time. Like what was it for you? Because you've had many opportunities to do a lot of different things.
Right.
You could have walked away from ministry. What kept you in it?
Man, one, we talked about calling, but this is my passion. This is my purpose. And I believe this is about timing. This is not necessarily about my timing, because I didn't set out to work for a church or even be in ministry. This is about God's timing and his call on my life. So, and I understand that there's seasons, but this has developed me in a way that I can be a blessing to the whole world. This isn't just about ministry. The skills that I've developed being in leadership in ministry, business needs these skills. Let me give you an example of that.
Okay.
In business and in the corporate world and in the secular world, everyone works for a check. In church, you have a few staff members and a lot of volunteers. Mm-hmm. So my staff members, I can hold them accountable basically by their paycheck.
Right.
But my volunteers, if they do not show up for an event or an assignment, what can I say? They show up because they want to show up.
Right.
So I know I've developed an understanding of leadership to make you understand that leadership has nothing to do with authority. So you talked about a king or a kingmaker. One of the most popular hashtags on social media right now is boss. Everybody wants to be a boss.
Right.
Well, I'd much rather be a leader. Okay. In order to be a boss, you have to compensate people to get them to do what you need them to do.
Wow, that's good, man.
If you're a leader, they want to be with you. They want to follow you. They want to do what you do. They want to be around you. They want to help you make things happen. Right. There's a big difference. There's a big difference.
That's good. So let's talk a little bit more about you. Just not ministry, but okay. What are some other things that you have going on? Now, I follow you on social media. You out here embarrassing people with these workout videos and putting people to shame. Tell me about that. Where did the passion for fitness? Because in my book, I talk about one of the qualities of a great two-man is that you got to be healthy. Because if you're not healthy, you can't do this. You can't carry the burden for other people if you're not healthy, and not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. I talk about all these things, mental and heart health. So for you, man, I see you. I see you pumping iron. When we're in Phoenix, I see you getting it. Talk to me.
Man, mind, body, and spirit, they're all connected.
Okay.
If my body is in good shape, man, I can carry the greatness of my mind. Man, if my mind is in good shape and my body is not, then we have a problem. We have a problem. This is one of my key ingredients to success.
Okay.
Is to being extremely healthy. Not just physically fit, but being healthy. So I check my numbers, my blood pressure, my sugar. I don't work out just for vanity. I want to look good just like anybody else.
Yeah.
But I want to be healthy. And I have always been an athlete. I started working out at about 13. I grew up in a neighborhood in East Baltimore, and I see some people online that's from East Baltimore. Okay. And when you're up in these neighborhoods, in order to get respect, you had to be a tough guy. You either had to sell drugs or you had to be an athlete. And so being an athlete was my avenue. I played basketball, I played football, and I loved it. And I always had a competitive spirit. So I had to practice and train. You play like you practice.
Right.
It's the same thing I do with leadership. I can't show up at work and not be prepared. It takes a level of training. You can't put on a suit and tie and just be an executive or be a COO or be a leader or be a pastor for that matter. You got to have some training under your belt, and you got to constantly be updating your training. You have to evolve and you have to change. You have to be evolving and not changing, but you have to be growing because change is inevitable. Growth is optional.
That's good. That's good. One of the things I seen you do, and me and Darius was talking about this. Because he's in a book. We have this chapter in the book, chapter 11, where it's an interview with a one. So I wanted to have this conversation with a one. When I say a one, meaning a senior leader. So it's a dialogue between the one and the two. And one of the things he said is that a one has to be healthy enough to let the two be the two. Meaning, kind of like what you said, in some areas you're going to be smart, in some areas you're going to have more expertise. And so what he's saying is you have to be, you got to be secure enough.
You do.
To say, I'm going to let Odell take the lead or lead me. Now, and I say that because one of the areas I've seen you, since you've been with Bishop, whether it's, man, keeping him looking good, keeping him styled and dressed, like how did that come about? Because I know you've kind of been like kind of helping him in that area and keeping him sharp and keeping him crisp. Talk to me about that.
Man, first of all, Bishop is a very secure person. He's that person that will give away what he has because he understands. We use this term a lot, like what's for you is for you and what's for me is for me. And what I believe is that nobody in the world can beat me at being me. Mm. And nobody in the world can beat you at being Ramone. Nobody can beat Bishop Thomas at being Bishop Thomas. So he doesn't have to worry about that. And plus, he's a genius. And so that is a part of his genius to bring people around him that have strengths that only strengthen him. Mm. So he let me use my passions. My passions, working out is how we connected after we made the initial meet. We were at a conference and that we were doing a new psalmist and I was helping out. And he said, what are you doing at lunchtime? I said, I'm going to the gym. He said, I'm going to ride with you. We've been working out together ever since.
Wow.
And I literally have been, you could say that I'm training him, but we've been workout partners ever since. And I've shared with him everything I knew. And one of the things I also said back then, Ramone, was I don't like one-sided relationships. And so he started really helping me grow spiritually as I helped him become more healthy and physically fit.
That's good.
And so it was a win-win situation. And so that was a big part of our connection in our relationship. And man, I've always loved fashion. And so I know, the way you dress, the way you look, the way you present yourself. When I got to the church, funny thing is, when I got to the church, everybody was still wearing gaiters and ostrich skin shoes and snake skins and, reptiles on their feet, and their suits were like Crayola, red, blue, royal blue.
I think I've seen you in one of them gators once or twice.
Now there's a certain kind of gator. Now you ain't seen me in those. Listen, like Biggie say, gators for my Detroit players. Happy birthday, Biggie. So they would have like 25 buttons. Okay. I used to wonder, how long does it take you to put that jacket on? And so when I first started, I had a straight Brooks Brothers look, cap-toe shoes, wingtip shoes. I wanted to dress like a businessman because what I wanted to be, if you would have asked me what I wanted to be when I was growing up, I didn't know what it was called, but I was attracted to men in suits with briefcases.
Okay.
And I later found out that was called a businessman.
Gotcha.
And now I'm a businessman in the kingdom of God.
Yes, you are. And
so I let those are my influences on my leader and the people in my sphere of influences.
Gotcha.
I'll give you one more funny story on that. So one year I started to wear bow ties. And everybody teased me about bow ties. They asked me if I was selling bean pies. They asked me, assalamu alaikum, salaikum salam. Even Bishop Thomas. I'm calling them out. And one day he put on one. He said, I think I'm gonna wear one. After that, the whole church started wearing bow ties. Maybe two other guys wore bow ties before I started wearing them at New Psalmist. And once I put it on, Bishop put it on. And so I say that to say you have to understand influence. You don't always have to influence the crowd. You have to be able to influence the influencer.
Come on, man. Come on,
Now,
talk.
in order to influence the influencer, he's gotta have a level of trust in you, and you have to be competent.
It's good.
And talk about you talked about the old guys and ambition. And so I use the word passion instead of ambition. I'm passionate about what I do and about leadership. And but in the old days, Ramone, there's guys that's been around forever. All it took was loyalty back in the old days.
Mm-hmm.
You just had to show up. And now some of us still have people in places just because they've been there forever.
Right.
But our businesses and our ministries are suffering because of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need more than loyalty. We need competence.
It's good, man. That's good. Let me turn the corner because I want to highlight.
Okay.
I think it's important, man. People who serve in support roles, and when I say 2-man, I'm talking about executive support leaders. I'm talking about COOs, CFOs.
That's why we use a secular title, Chief Operating Officer.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, but I think it's across the board. I don't care whether you in church, I don't care whether you're in business, whether you're in the nonprofit sector, in sports and entertainment, and whatever. I think for so long, people have felt like I can't work for someone else and still fulfill my own passions and desires. And so that's why I wanted to have you kind of first up. In one of my first conversations, I had Antar on. Me and Antar Muhammad talked about a week ago, man.
Just released his book as well.
Yeah, he just released his, man. His stuff is fantastic. But what I wanted people to hear is that just because you serve as a COO in one organization, that does not mean God takes away from you your passions. And I think that's coming out, your passion for fashion and business. Now, let's slide over into fashion a little bit, because I know you in a documentary, something that came in on the movies or TV. Tell me a little bit about that. What was that?
So the good thing about, we live in the world of technology is you can connect with people all over the world. Mm-hmm. And because of, say, Instagram, and let me just do a shameless plug. You can follow me at Instagram at Odell Exec.
That's right.
ODELLEXEC. I post about faith, fashion, finances, family, and faith.
I'm posting it in there now so they have it. So people can see it. Odell Exec, y'all.
Odell Exec. And so, man, I had this. I figured since I wear a suit and tie every day, and I believe in professionalism. And one of the biggest myths about the church is that we're not professionals. That's right. And so we have to present ourselves. The banks refer to the church as an industry. We're an industry, but we're not a favorable industry to do business with. Mm. And I wanted to be a part of the paradigm shift that changed that.
Yeah, me too.
I want to be a part of the paradigm shift that changed that. Thus, here I am in a lead position at one of the best churches in the whole wide world, and I don't have any ministry degrees.
Mm. Wait, hold on. Let's stop for a minute, because I want people to understand that. When Odell says he's at one of the best ministries in the world, he is for real. And I think that's hands down. I think any of us across the country would say you guys are a beacon of light, and not just because of the greatness of what y'all do or whatever, but we've never seen anyone rebrand themselves, stay so relevant with 40 plus years in ministry the way Bishop Thomas has, the way New Psalms have. So, man, just kudos on that, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, shout out to Bishop.
Yeah.
We are always reinventing. I have this term, man. If it ain't broke, break it.
Yes, I love it.
If it ain't broke, break it. It's breaking. Don't wait until it's totally broke.
That's right.
Let's make some adjustments along the way.
Yeah.
Let's look out and forecast what's going on in the world.
Yeah. So hold on. I see one of my guys, Papa Benyarko, on here. This is one of our guys out of my church, man. He's a leader in our church, but he kind of like you, man. He fashion conscious. He
just said serious bed. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, man. I got to give a shout out to him. But tell me, come back to the fashion thing. So how did the documentary,
some guys
tell me about Odell lapel too. So go ahead.
Okay, so Odell, that's what I mean by if it ain't broke, break it. Odell, the lapel thing is over. We did that for a while. It was great piece of fashion, but I've moved on. I don't even have an Odell lapel in my lapel. And so we're doing new things. It's about being sharp. So you see a lot of quotes by Diddy and Jay-Z about Black excellence. Well, I want Black excellence, but I just want excellence as well. And so some guys, there's a guy who, Cameron, he's from Philly. He reached out to me and some other guys, and we went over to DC and Georgetown and did a shot. And I did a couple more things since then, reached out to some of my brothers in New York and connected with them. And we'll go hang out like we've been knowing each other for years. You know, shout out to the Bearded Dapper Gents up in Brooklyn, up in Dumbo. And guys, we're making connections across the world. We're making connections across the world. So young people, this is one of the ways I keep myself young too. Young people like fashion. Young people will connect to you based off of what you're wearing.
Yeah.
They can, and they know the difference in a brother who is somewhat at least down with them or not. So they first eyeing you up to see what you look like. And then once you start talking, and they want to see if you can relate. And it's very important because one of the biggest problems of the church is we're not connecting to the young people.
That's right.
We got to be able to connect to the young people. So if it takes faith, if it takes fashion, if it takes fitness, if it takes finances, if it takes family, you know, I show my family, my kids, 17, 16, and 12, my wife, Shari, they help me in certain ways connect. But my kids are cool kids. They're in high school. They keep me. I love hip hop music. Oh. So I'm a hip hop historian. Today is the birthday of Christopher Wallace, the Notorious B.I.G. man. And a lot of people will say, well, I don't listen to the new music. How can you not listen to the new music and expect to connect with the young people?
That's right. That's right.
You have to.
Hey, now check it out. The title of my book, where it come from, Hip Hop Historian. Tell me about it. Where the title of my book come from?
It takes two to make a thing go right.
It takes two to make it what? Right. Yes, sir. Yes, right. Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rob Bass.
That's right. That's right. Hey, man, let me ask you a question. So, a chapter in my book, well, actually, it's two chapters where I talk about the qualities of a two. And so,
hey, Lady Jackie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead. The qualities of a two. Qualities of a two, man. And I had to spend two chapters talking about it because the one chapter, I say a two-man is the equivalent in an organization of a horse. And I use a horse because if you ever study a horse, like the leader is the lion. And so we're going to let the leader be the king of the jungle. But to run an organization, you need a horse. A horse brings stability. A horse has strong enough back and shoulders that we can carry the leader on our back and carry a whole lot of stuff. Lions drag stuff. Horses carry stuff. If you study a horse, horses don't need a lot of sleep. It says their eyes are on the side of the head because they can see everything coming. They're sensitive to when things shift. And so I use this horse kind of as an analogy. And so, right. But I use it also as an acronym, and I talk about these qualities of a horse: being healthy, being humble, being obedient, organized, resilient. So these are just some of the qualities that I talk about in the book. For you, what would you say are top qualities that an executive support leader should have in doing the work of this? Whether it's in a church, whether it's in business, whether it's in sports, whatever, in whatever genre, what qualities does a person need to have?
You have to have character.
Okay.
You have to be a quality person. It starts right there. You have to be
Expound on that.
So you have to have integrity.
Okay.
People have to be able to trust you as a person.
It's good.
They have to be able to trust you as a person because they have to take the importance of what they do and put it and let it rest on you. You know, so like you said, if you on a horse, if I have to trust a horse, I'm not going to jump on a wild horse and try to ride it.
Right.
I need a horse who has some experience, who's tame, who senses danger and knows that I'm on his back and he's carrying me.
Right.
And then I need to have somebody who understands direction. So what I mean by that, so a horse learns. He knows when it's time to go fast based off of certain indicators. He knows when to stop. He knows when to turn. I gotta be able to know when to go fast, know when to slow down, know when to turn. No, I gotta know those things. I know we say that the pastor is the visionary, but I have to have a level of vision as a second man leader or a second chair leader. I have to have some vision to see some things, because there's some things that the number one's not gonna see. He needs your eyes and ears. I have to be competent, man. I can't stress that enough. I have to have skills. In business, it's really all about producing. And oftentimes in the church, we don't think about producing, but we have to produce. So our bottom line production is souls for Christ, right?
Right.
But there's a lot that goes into producing that. There's a whole business behind the scenes. We run just like a business. We have an accounting department. There's a CPA on my staff.
Right.
You know, we have 50 people on staff. It takes money to do ministry.
Right.
You want to do more ministry, it takes more money.
Yes, sir.
So there needs to be a revenue line and not just an expense line. There's got to be some creativity. Because money's not falling out the sky. It's not falling, and there's no such thing called a money tree. You have to be creative. I'll give you an example of that creativity. So at New Psalmist Baptist Church, we have a 175,000 square foot building.
Say that again. Say that again. I just want people to be clear what you just said.
We have a 175,000 square foot building. We have a sanctuary that seats 4,000 people. We have tons of classrooms. We have a full service catering department, right? So what we actually have there is a retreat and meeting center. You want to do a conference in Baltimore, you don't have to go to the arena. You don't have to go downtown. Plus, we have 1,100 free parking spaces. Now, you know that's big. You go downtown to the arena or the convention center, you have to pay about $25 a day for parking. Right? And so if we're doing church on Sunday, we have a 7-day-a-week ministry, but most of it happens in the evening. So what's the building doing during the daytime? Nothing. But the gas and electric is still on. The mortgage is still being accumulated. So why not do something to earn some business during the week? Thus, the New Psalmist Retreating Meeting Center.
I love it.
We have a full-service banquet, full-service kitchen. Baltimore has the best crab cakes in the world. We have one of the best crab cakes in the world right there at the New Psalmist Baptist Church. We eat good. We eat good. Thus, we have a gym in the church. Like I said, the sanctuary.
We see that, Odell. We see that.
Where all my workouts, for the most part, take place in the church.
I see it.
They take place in the church.
Man, we got Reverend Walter S. Thomas Jr. on. I see you, man.
That's my little brother right there. He's doing big things up in Stilton. He's doing big things. You keep your eyes out for him. He's a preaching machine.
Yes, sir.
I'm very, very proud of my brother.
Listen, I know it. I've seen him. I watched him. Yes, sir. Tell me, so COO at the church.
Yes, sir.
In the fashion industry, you dib and dab in that. You had your own lines. You've had the lapels. You got different stuff. Fitness is huge. What also do you do? Now, one of the things that a lot of people know you from is kind of hosting and organizing probably one of the best retreats in the world for people. And I know you kind of the brain and the conference host for that. Tell me about that, because I know that's a lot of work.
So let me give you a little history to that. So one of the professions that you're seeing pop up today is event planner. Event planners are everywhere. And I've been doing event planning ever since I started at New Psalmist. When I joined the staff and Bishop Thomas at New Psalmist, he was the president of 2 conferences. One, the Millennium Conference, hosted by Bishop Neil Ellis, but Bishop Thomas was the president. It was in the Bahamas, Paradise Valley, Nassau, Bahamas. We did that for 3 years as we entered into the year 2000. And actually for 4 years, I was the conference event planner for that.
Okay.
Also at the time, Bishop Thomas was the president of the Hampton University Ministers Conference in Hampton, Virginia.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bishop Thomas is known for really giving the conference a comeback.
Okay.
And I was the conference coordinator for that, event planner for that.
Okay.
In his tenure as president, we had like 10 to 13,000 people in attendance.
Wow.
The Millennial Conference was at least 3,000 people, but it was in the Bahamas. I had to coordinate from Baltimore.
Wow.
Then the church, we did our own conferences. We did men's conference, women's conference. Then we had something called Kingdom Conference.
I remember.
We took over Baltimore. I oversaw that for most years, and I actually coordinated it myself, but I oversee the whole operation. So we did that where we had 10,000 people, one church, 10,000 people in Baltimore, took over the whole city, Then when he became bishop in 2005, we started to do a KCP conference. Okay. So we do a retreat and a conference every year, retreat in January, somewhere warm, and we do a conference at New Psalmist in July. After the third Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in July, I believe that's July 17, 18, and 19, we'll be at the KCP conference at New Psalmist. Okay. But the conference that you're referring to, which is like my baby, you're not supposed to have a favorite child, but this is my favorite child.
It's everybody's favorite child, sir.
Yeah. So in about 2002, Bishop Thomas and I started hosting a conference called Conversations. Mm-hmm. It is hosted, and again, this is the brainchild of Bishop Thomas, and he trusted me in making it happen.
Integrity.
I have to say that part again. It's his brainchild, but he trusted me with his vision. And man, it has been a journey. We are in our 16th years. It is a conference for senior pastors only. It is a conference where it is by invitation only. You have to be able to bring something to the table. It is intimate. We're not bringing more than 100 people. So once we get to 100, that's it. And what happens now, Ramone, is, as you know, everybody signs up before they leave. So I tend to have a waiting list. For people, and that's a blessing, because we're talking about 17 years in now. 17 years in. We do it in Paradise Valley, Arizona, on the side of a mountain, and it is beautiful. But we come together, and it is what we like to say, iron sharpening iron. Right. And man, the conversations that take place there are invaluable. And we deal with things that affect us in our business, in our ministry, in our personal lives. And man, it is unique.
Yeah.
It is unique.
It's hands down. I've been to every conference out there in the last 20 years. I've been everywhere. Phoenix is one I can't explain to people. What you guys have created, what you guys have created there, hands down the best conference in the world. Like it's fantastic, man. So listen, man, I'm not gonna keep you much longer, man. I kind of want to.
I'm enjoying this, man. Shout your book.
We're gonna have to do a part 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It took so long to get you.
But this is the way we have to do it. This is the way we have to do it. This works.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to sneak. I was gonna sneak up to Jersey and be there, but I couldn't make it happen. I was gonna sneak up there and be like, "You're gonna go to sign in," and I was gonna be there. I was going to connect with Darius, but I couldn't make it happen. Next time.
Hey, listen, June 5th and 6th, man, come up. We're in revival, man. That's the book actually comes out then. So it's coming out the first week of June, man. So I'm excited about that. But, man, listen, been trying to get you.
Hold on. I just haven't gotten my copy yet.
It's not out yet. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but I'm just, I want to be like on Instagram, be like.
Oh, trust me, it's coming to you. It's coming to you. It's coming to you. June 6th, first week. You see it up on the shelf right here. You see this hanging on by a thread?
Hanging on by a thread, Bishop Walter Scott Thomas.
Man, listen. Now I'm gonna tell you how you do me so wrong. We supposed to be brothers, Bishop Walter Thomas got an endorsement in my book, and I ain't even gonna mess with you.
But listen, I'm gonna say this. I've given Bishop Walter Scott Thomas a lot of shout outs, but he worked me. He worked me. And listen, you talked about my own passion. So I also have my consulting company, Odell Exec Enterprises, LLC. Okay. And what I do at Odell Exec LLC is what everything I've learned over the last 30 years, including my ride at New Psalmist Baptist Church, everything I've learned and everything I'm learning about business, about church, about ministry, about raising money, about organization, about infrastructure, about leadership is what I'm doing through my consulting. I've had a level of success at New Psalmist Baptist Church like no other, and I give all the glory to God. But I'm sharing this. God gave this to me. I am going to be giving it away, not giving it away. There is, a consulting fee, but I am going to
clarify. You're a businessman.
Yes, this is a business. This is not a not-for-profit. This is a business. And one of the things that the church has to understand, and although I don't just work with churches, but what the church has to understand is a church would say, I cannot afford to do that. And I would say, you can't afford not to. If you want to grow, you have to learn from somebody, whether it's me or somebody else, who knows how to grow, who has a track record of growth and success.
That's right. William Johnson gave a thumbs up. That's my two man there. Will Johnson, man. You would love this guy. He a money guy, business guy. You probably need to coach him, man. I think when I start my coaching network, I got a unique style of how I do. I feel like God has called me to be a vision interpreter, and that's what I'm helping people do throughout.
That's what we do, though, basically. Shout out to my wife, Sherry.
I see Sherry. Hey, lady Dickerson. So let's, as we kind of we're going to have to come back. We got to do part two.
All right, let's do it.
Part two. We got to figure out a way, because we actually missing the third leg tonight. Third wheel.
Shout out to D Noble.
Listen, this the trifecta. Me, Odell Dickerson, Derek Nobles, Nashville, Tennessee, Bishop Walker.
That's right.
That's my guy, man. So we go say a shout out to him, praying for him, man. But yeah, we got to come back. I think we got the three of us got to come back on.
Let's do it, bro.
So tell me, how can people find you? So you talked about Odell Exec. Tell everybody where you're at on social media, and then tell us a little bit more. If they wanted to reach you about consulting and leadership training, how do they find you?
So on social media, I'm Odell Exec, Odellexec. My name is Odell Dickerson. I have two football names, Odell Beckham and Eric Dickerson, two football names. But Odell Exec, and you can tap the tab and email me, but my email is odellexec@gmail.com. And my website is odellexec.com.
Odellexec.com. Listen, y'all need to go follow this man. This guy's my hero, man. You know, just in all seriousness, Odell, man, you are a model. I love you. You know that. If there's anything I'm going through, I'm gonna reach out to you, Derek Noble, man. But man,
so Ramone, we have to touch on that a little bit. Is you gotta have some good people that you're connected to, that you have relationship behind the scenes, not just what everybody see. We're not social media friends. We're friends for real. So when the real crisis comes in your life, we can connect to each other.
Exactly.
Or whether that's professional or personal.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. And especially in this role. And that's why I think, this book, the network, that I'm doing in terms of coaching people and mentoring people that's new into this two-man role is so important, man. When I went through tough times, because as a two, we're holding up our leaders' hands. Right. We're overseeing the staff, so we can't share with them.
It's lonely.
Yeah, sometimes you can't share with your family and your spouse, because what you're carrying can hurt them if they, knew some of this stuff. So if I did not have you and Noble, man, at times when I probably wanted to quit, probably wanted to give up, I needed that. I needed to see a picture of y'all doing it and just be able to pick up that phone and text you like, man, I'm going through. I need to tell me something.
That's right. That's right. That's real. That's real. So ministry can be extremely tough, and that's an understatement. That's an understatement.
Yeah, yeah. My last question, then we go get off of my signature question. So I want you to be thinking about best two men of all time. This is the NBA playoffs going on right now. So I want to hear from you, the top two man. It can be basketball. It can be sports.
Okay.
So think about it while I come back. My final question, and I talk about this in my book, balance. I do a chapter on the challenges of being a two. For you, tell me, because I know balance is for everybody, and especially someone new coming into this role, juggling family, the ministry, whatever going on. How have you been able to balance yourself to do what you do so well, so long, and still have your right mind?
So that's the faith portion of Odell Exec. So I first have to absolutely give credit to God. If it was just me, I probably would have failed in a few areas a long time ago. So that's the faith. So the faith component is normally my first F component, where you have to have a strong faith. You have to I like to deal with the facts, the Stockholm paradox. I like to deal with the facts no matter how brutal they are, but I have to have an unwavering faith. I have to have an unwavering faith that things are going to work out the way they're supposed to work out. And God's going to get the glory, and I'm going to be okay. Guess what? I'm okay. No matter what I've been through, I'm sitting right here talking to you.
That's right.
I'm sitting right here talking to you. And so that's very important. The truth of the matter is sometimes you get out of balance. You do. And I think all successful people will tell you sometimes you get out of balance.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes God to set you down. You get sick. I had a bout of getting sick earlier this year because I was pushing. I thought I was Superman. And I think what God was saying to me is, look, son, I'm God, you're not. And then he sat me down for about 30 days.
Yeah, I remember. I got the text.
I was sick in Phoenix.
I remember.
Yeah, so I've learned from that. I've learned from that. Yeah.
Well, that's good, man. So listen, it's so much, man. And this is going to be hard because we friends. So we can be out here for 5 hours and talk.
That's right.
so much stuff, man. But all right, so let's we have to, man. Some of these people I'm here, we got to do it again. So I want to come back. Let's pick another day. It's a whole bunch of more topics. And I want to get into some nitty gritty stuff.
Yeah, let's go deep. I think people need to hear some of the deep stuff.
Okay. All right. So let's bring this into a wrap. Top 5, the best two men of all time, the wingman, the two man, or you can give me the best tag team duos of all time. Let's go.
Oh man. All right. Let me go. See, basketball, Scottie Pippen.
Yep.
All right. Hip hop, DMC of Run DMC.
What you say? Come on. All right.
Let me see. Let's go down the line. Give me another
Gerald Mack. What you know about it?
That's right. D for never dirty, MC for mostly clean.
Come on.
All right. Let me see. Let's go.
Come on. Give me 3 more.
I see. Let me think. Give me a genre. Throw a genre out at me.
Tag team football, 1-2s.
So normally a 1-2 in football is a quarterback and a wide receiver, right. But I'm picking a running back.
Okay.
Sweetness.
Okay.
Walter Payton.
Payton. All right.
Walter Payton.
All right.
All right. Give me another genre.
Let's go. Go business. Let me see. Give me business. Man business.
Let's see. Who is it in business that I would say?
Right-hand man, wingman.
Man. I'm gonna give a shout out to my guy, Kevin Lyles.
man,
from
loud
Baltimore
music business.
who played a significant role at Def Jam when Russell Simmons and Leo Cohen were like the head.
Okay.
Kevin Lyles, you talk about LL Cool J and people like that. My man Kevin, shout out to my man Kevin Lyles. He's still doing this thing with his 300 Entertainment.
Man, Kevin Lyles, Steve Style, Rick Rubin, all
those guys. Yeah. Rick Rubin is a number one though.
Yeah, well, he won. People would give it to Russ, but really, Rick was the start of Def Jam, and Rick had that promotion side going.
Yes, sir. So let me
any genre, it can either be a 2-man or a tag team duo where it takes two.
It takes two. Man, I'm gonna go way back, and I know this is gonna show my age. I'm gonna go when I was a child. I used to love wrestling.
Okay. Me too.
Back then, you had a tag team, a black tag team of Rocky Johnson, who is the father of The Rock.
Oh, okay.
And Tony Atlas, who was a former bodybuilder. Now, I know I just took y'all way back.
Yeah, now I see where that grade come from.
That's right, shorty.
I thought you was gonna give me some Road Warriors or something like that. You took it.
I loved all those. I love the Road Warriors, but I mean, I had to go, with black excellence on that.
You're OG.
Yes,
but
sir.
listen, man, I appreciate you, man. We got to do this again. We got to come back because we haven't touched the surface of the challenges of the 2-man in his family, things that the 2 always wanted to say to a 1, and I think you can give great credence to some of those topics. So yeah, we got to do it again.
Okay, man. Absolutely. Right, man. Love you, man.
Love you too, man. Reach out to my boy.
All right, I surely will right now.
Yep.
All right, bro.
Okay.
All right.